Hello, everybody, and welcome to RBA's virtual classroom. I am so happy you could join us this afternoon. My name is Marissa Veely. I'm RBA's Education and Certification Director. For those who are not familiar with the RBA or Retail Bakers of America, we are the National Trade Association for retail bakeries, baking educators, cake decorators, and retail bakery suppliers. If you are not already a member, I highly recommend checking out RBA's website, retailbakersofamerica.org, for more information about the benefits of joining our fantastic community. I am very excited to be here today with Jennifer Lodering. Jennifer is with Primera Technology, one of RBA's valued allied members to demonstrate some cutting edge technology, edible printing. Primera Technology is based in Plymouth, Minnesota, and is one of the world's leading developers and manufacturers of specialty printing equipment, including Eddy, the edible ink printer. So I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer so she can tell us more about that technology. Jennifer.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me today. I work for Primera, and we manufacture many kinds of printers, including label printers and medical printers. And then, of course, my personal favorite, Eddy, the edible ink printer. So Eddy's been on the market about 3 years now. And Eddy is a fully commercial grade edible ink printer that prints onto a variety of confections. I'm going to show you all the kinds of confections you can print on. The primary use, I would say, is printing on royal iced sugar cookies or biscuits. But you can also print on rolled buttercream or fondant, macarons, a variety of other kinds of confections as well. And it is, as I said, commercial grade. It will print over 300 cookies an hour. So we have people printing hundreds, thousands of cookies for large corporate orders, weddings, things like that as well. So I thought I would first, just to give you a sense for those of you who are not familiar with Eddy, show a PowerPoint with some videos on it, just so you get a little idea of how it works. And then I will, I have a list of questions, that I can talk about. You guys can certainly ask questions, and Marissa will kind of prompt me with those. And then at the end, I'll do actual live demonstrations so I can show you how Eddy prints and how fast it is if you haven't seen it live. So we have a pretty active social media following. We have, I think, about 50,000 people on our Instagram page. People tag us. I think we get tagged, I don't know, many times a day. So our Instagram page is a great place for just seeing the variety of things that people are printing with Eddy. So I highly recommend you check out our Eddy, the edible ink printer Instagram page. But let's just get started here with this PowerPoint, and then it's not very long. And then after that, we can talk about some of the specs on Eddy and how to use Eddy and what it can print on, and then we can do the demonstration after that. So I'm going to set up the PowerPoint here. And can you see that, Marissa? Maybe she can't hear.
No,
can you see it there? Yeah. No. It's not. Oh, I got to share my screen. Sorry about that. Let me go back here, share my screen. There we go. Share.
Perfect.
All right. PowerPoint. There we go. Can you see that?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, there we go. So there's Eddy. I'll just progress here. So Eddy can print. You can hear me okay?
Yes,
okay.
The audio is good.
Eddy can print on cookies, macarons, donuts. We have an adapter kit that allows you to print taller items like donuts or Rice Krispie treats, or taller like bento cakes, things that are a little bit taller, up to 2 inches in height, cake pops, things like that. Eddy will also print on royal transfers, and I'll show you an example of that. There's it's something you would add to a cupcake topper, or actually you can actually add it to a cookie as well. Cake pops, marshmallows, fondant. Fondant is primarily used for fondant covered cookies, or also for cakes. A lot of people are printing, they'll print a character, or they'll print some kind of plaque. They'll cut it out with a cutter, and then they'll attach that to a cake. That's been a common trend lately that we're seeing. And then also candies, any kind of, like, we call them lentils, but smaller, like M&M type candies or Mentos, things like that. There's trays that will hold the candies and then you can print directly onto those. They're very popular things like graduations and weddings. Then Eddie, the printer, is $2,995 US. We do ship worldwide at, I think, to over 130 countries with free shipping. You also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you want to buy the printer and if for any reason you don't like the printer, we take it back, no questions asked. We offer free 1-hour training. You actually get a personal one-on-one training with one of our experts, and they'll run you through the software, getting everything set up. They'll also then get you printing some of your first cookies. So they get everything ready to go for you. And then with purchase, you also get free tech support for the life of the printer. And we actually pick the phone. We have live support 6 days a week into the evenings, which is really helpful to customers. Then we also give you a 1-year warranty, but you can upgrade that warranty to what's called a hot swap. So you can also, what'll happen is if you have any issues with the printer, we can swap out the printer, overnight you a new printer so you're not down if you have a big order or something like that. Then let's see here. We are one of, I think, the only printer that has NSF certification, which is a kitchen appliance certification. So the printer's stainless steel, it's easy to clean. Parts come out, you can throw them in the dishwasher. So that was a pretty lengthy certification to get. We are also, our inks are also certified in a couple ways. The ink, not only is the ink certified, the cartridges are as well. So we have what's called CGMP certification. So the inks are fully certified, safe. We actually fill the inks, fill the cartridges here in our manufacturing facility in Minnesota. So they're completely certified and safe. And then we just received kosher Parev certification last week, I think. So really excited about that. So not only are the inks certified, but the process of filling has to be certified. So that is done as well. Then we have, let's go forward. So you might have seen on the internet or different ways, Eddie, there's only one Eddie printer. Sometimes it's shown with the carousel. The image on the right there shows this large stainless carousel that holds 12 cookies or macarons. And then a lot of people take off the carousel if you're printing something that's oversized or something that's taller, like a donut, and they run the printer in what's called manual mode, where you're feeding one cookie at a time. It's still the same speed, it's just more of a manual process. And the printer with the carousel can print over 300 cookies in an hour. So it's about 10, 12 seconds an item. It's very fast. You can do hundreds to thousands of cookies, no problem. But those two images on the left are showing it without the carousel in manual mode. This is going to play a video here. Oops, video stopped. I don't know why that happened, but I think it just got, let's just bring that up. I'll skip past that part. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward past that. I think it's just probably too big of a file.
And that video, that was real time in the printing, Jennifer?
That was real time. It's very fast.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'll do a live demo. Yeah, people are always surprised whenever we're at a trade show like IBIE. They're really shocked when they see a print. It's like 10 seconds a cookie on average. So here's an example of a variety of cookies provided by some of our customers that are holiday cookies. So, you know, these are pretty extensive, elaborate cookies that are shaped cookie cutters. Sometimes bakeries might just want to print circle cookies. You can print circles or squares or hearts pretty easily. If you're getting beyond a typical shape, then you have to do it in manual mode, because those uniquely shaped items like a Christmas tree probably won't fit very well on the carousel. So you can see just a variety of prints and patterns. Pretty much any graphic, any photograph, any illustration can be printed on the cookie. And a lot of the designs we got for free just on Canva. I use Canva. We have a subscription. I think it's like $100 a year or something like that. And then it has thousands of free graphics. So, and there's a variety of other places you can get graphics as well. And then these are some logo cookies. So a lot of the ways that bakeries are making money with Eddie are by producing logo cookies for corporate events, for businesses in town, for schools, things like that. Very easy to reproduce hundreds of cookies pretty quickly. And here's some more logo cookies, round cookies. If this video plays too. That one's sped up a little bit. So here's some more logo cookies and wedding and bridal cookies. You can print photographs, a lot of save the dates, just a simple monogram. That's a very popular thing for weddings. Sometimes people are embellishing the cookies after they print. That center image has what's called a gold foil highlight. So you first you print the Mr. and Mrs. In like a light yellow color, and then you come back with a FDA approved gold foil. It's just like a dust that you actually kind of go over the ink when it's slightly wet when it first comes out of the printer, and then you get that effect, which is fun. So those are wedding cookies. Then you have candies, M&Ms, and then you have macarons. Are a lot of your bakeries make macarons, I would assume? Or is it more of a specialty item?
Then many of our bakery members make macaron. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have an adapter that holds the macarons on the carousel because they're so delicate and light. So you can actually print macarons directly on the carousel at the same speed. Donuts are kind of fun. So you can print donuts. There's an adapter kit. It's another $79, and it just allows you to print taller items. So it's kind of fun for holiday events, like for St. Patrick's Day. You could print shamrocks on donuts and just have a few in your counter. Or you could do, special order for birthdays or whatever. I was at IBIE and I was amazed by the level of decoration on donuts lately. Some of them are they're like a cake almost. So it's just a fun thing. You could actually just put some in the case for different holidays, or you could put some, dinosaur donut prints, or, little characters or things like that, which are kind of fun. Here's it printing on a donut. So that was printing donuts on a donut, which is kind of cute. And then s'more kits, which I'm not sure if bakeries would be making these, but this is a very popular thing. You can print directly onto crackers, graham crackers, marshmallows, and it's kind of a fun little extra thing. And we can show you, there's a tray there that you're printing a marshmallow.
It looks so fun. It's like you can customize almost anything.
It's fun. Yeah. And you can actually add those marshmallows to cakes. You put them in skewers and add them to a cake, things like that. Then these are cake pops. They're fun. They print right onto the printer. You can print any character, any image, any graphic right onto the cake pop. Then royal transfers. So these are the things I mentioned that are printed and applied to things like cupcakes or cake or actual cookies. I can show you here. Those are fun. So that video was sped up, I have to say there. I think that was the end of the PowerPoint here. Go back to our screen. Stop share. There we go. Okay, so that was just to show you the variety of things that you can do with Eddie. One thing we didn't show in the picture was Eddie printing on fondant. So Eddie prints, the maximum print size for Eddie is 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So about like that. And you can print directly onto a rolled out sheet of fondant and 4.5 by 4.5. And then you can actually cut out a character. Here, I'll show you here on screen. Like this little girl. And you just get a cute little image on Etsy. We got this image on Etsy. And then you can just apply this to a cake. I think we also printed a little cat and something. And it looks adorable on cake. So that's another option. So it actually, Eddie prints very well on fondant because it's more like paper. It's very smooth and hard, and it's just, it's a perfect surface because there's very little fat content in the fondant versus like a buttercream. But we have a lot of bakers actually using rolled buttercream for their cookies. And then the primary though, of course, is royal icing. And they're either dipping it or they're flooding and piping and flooding their cookies for royal icing. And that seems to be the preferred surface for printing on cookies. But as I said, you can do rolled buttercream or fondant, or you can actually print directly onto the cookie if you want to do that as well.
Jennifer, is the ink the same regardless of what you're printing on, whether it's buttercream, regardless of the fat content, whether it's buttercream or rolled fondant, is the ink the same?
Yep, the ink's the same. So we have a couple formulations because of regulations. We have a formulation for North America and then one for Europe. And then we also have for the United States, we have a new magenta formula, which has a brighter red for Christmas, kind of a Christmas red, but all the ink is in one cartridge. And it's the same cartridge. It prints all colors. And actually the cartridges are $130. And your yield though is between 1,400 to 2,700 prints per cartridge. So it's just pennies a print. Of course, that depends on your coverage and your balance of colors. It's just like a regular printer would, as you would figure that out. But the typical cost per cookie is around, 6 to 10 cents per cookie. So kind of nominal when it comes to the labor to make the cookie and the ingredients. It's pretty small part of the overall cookie cost. And then people tend to sell the cookies for like $4, $5, $6 per cookie. So you guys are all experts at bakers. We're not bakers. We're printer manufacturers. So I'm sure you all know what your costs are in making a cookie. This one great thing about Eddie is that it kind of does the labor for you. It takes away some of the manual side of things, especially if it's like a logo cookie, which would be very difficult to hand pipe. You can produce, hundreds of them very quickly, and it's just loading up the cookies. So in a matter of an hour, you could have over 300 cookies. So that makes it nice to do. And then the ink itself, depending on the surface, the dry time will vary. The process for people primarily for royal frosting is to let the royal icing crust. And this is a royal icing that has like a meringue powder in it, a little bit of corn syrup, your powdered sugar, water, some add lemon juice. It just kind of depends. everybody has a slightly different royal icing recipe. So most people are though letting it crust, then they're printing, and then they're letting it dry overnight. Some people dehydrate, some people just let them sit on racks. That's a typical process. And if you're going to bag, that's really what we recommend. And then some people cornstarch after they're printing as well, or before they bag, just to kind of give that extra layer of protection. Also depends on what kind of, if you're in a really humid environment or if you're in drier state like Minnesota, it just depends. Yeah, excellent question. What else can I say? So Eddie, so like I said, the maximum print size is 4.5 by 4.5, and pretty much any shape on the carousel, like circles and squares and hearts work well on the carousel. If you're printing anything that's like a plaque or odd shape, then we recommend you do that in manual mode. You basically just take the carousel off. And a lot of companies have sold or created trays. We don't make any of the trays. This is the sprinkle tray, and it's made by the Sprinkle Factory. There's a half a dozen of these on the market, and these basically are a little tray that fits on the carousel. And what you do first is you print on the base here, your image. Then you flip this back, and then you know exactly where to place the cookie because you see the print image underneath. This is a transparent food safe material. And so if you have an odd shape that's unique, you can line it up and just hit print, 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 and you can print hundreds of them very quickly that way. Let's see what else here. So one other thing about Eddie, I mentioned the certifications. I also mentioned that Eddie is highly rated on Trustpilot. So we have hundreds of reviews. I think we might even have thousands, and we're at 4.8 out of 5 stars. Almost no one returns their Eddie printer. We have excellent customer service and support. So if you're at all hesitant with technology, we're here to help you with that. You do have to run Eddie off of either a Mac or a PC. So that's where you bring in your design, and whether you're printing from the Adobe products or you're printing from Canva. You can print on a Mac. You can print directly from your Mac platform, or like if you're going to be printing with a PC or a PC laptop, you can use the software that comes with the printer called Bartender. It's just a basic template software. But most people, what they're doing is designing in another program like Canva or Illustrator. I would say most people are using Canva. It's a very simple program. You can set up your templates, grab a lot of free images in Canva. The cute little flower cookies in the background here, over there, that's just, those are all images that we got off Canva. Same with the logo here. And I think even these images up here, the little Santa Claus at the top, I don't know if you can see them up there. Oh, those are all from Canva. So, and they're free with the software. We get a lot of people ask, how difficult is Eddie to use? And if you're at all technically savvy, you'll find, I think, that the learning curve is pretty quick. But we do provide the 1-hour training, so they'll help you get set up. And then I think with practice, people find that they're able to print cookies pretty quickly. It has some nice science to it. It has a centering tool, so there's a scanner. So if you're printing like a circle cookie or something like that, it will automatically center your image for you. So we have some help for you there. There's tons of tutorials. We've done a ton of Facebook Lives on our Facebook Eddie group, which has 27,000 members. If you really want to learn about Eddie, I highly recommend you join the Eddie the Edible Ink Printer Facebook user group, because they're actual people, bakeries using Eddie, printing with Eddie. You can ask questions. You can see how they're using it, what they recommend. They all have different, processes for how they print and dry, and whether they flood or dip. So that's a great resource to use if you have questions. But we're here to help you. We're here to get you set up. But there will be a little bit of a learning curve in getting started and getting the process down. But once you have everything ready and you have your images ready, should be no problem. Let's see here.
And I'm really impressed watching it print on the things that aren't as smooth. Like, I mean, it's one thing printing on the royal icing or the fondant, like you said, but like the soda crackers that you showed or the graham crackers, Are there any differences that people should know about if they're intending to use it on something like donuts or the graham crackers that they should know going in?
Sure. Well, donuts are a little bit, they have contour to them. They have a kind of a tapered edge. So the better the print quality is better the closer the print head gets to the item. So like a paper printer, it's right on top of the paper essentially. So once it gets towards the edge of that donut, what happens is it does a centering scan and a height scan. So it actually moves that print head up to the tallest part of the item. So if you have a glop of frosting that's kind of tall, it's going to center on that. And then it's going to have to spray that ink further down. Like when it gets to the edge of the donuts, it's not going to be quite as crisp. I can show a donut here. We just printed this donut maybe a half an hour ago. So you can see in the edge of the donut, it gets a little bit more faded because the print head is, spraying ink a little further. You kind of see that, but you still get a cute effect. You could have 2 dozen of these in the counter on St. Patrick's Day. How fun is that to mix and do it with your set? So that's that one. And then we did a little unicorn one. Oops, whatever. Where's my little thing here? Little unicorns. So prints on bagels too. Hamburger buns. Print's great actually on hamburger buns. I just posted a hamburger bun video and I got 60,000 views on it, which is kind of fun. So I don't know if any bakeries are making custom hamburger buns, but I would assume some are, possibly. So the closer the print head to the item, the better the print quality. So the photographs, it prints fantastic on a royal icing. Maybe Marina can hand me a photo cookie. So this is a photo cookie. This is a popular Polaroid cookie. People print. You wouldn't have to put the extra frosting around the edge, and then here's a wedding cookie. It's just really great print quality. Beautiful photo quality. Let's see. So I talked a little bit about the trays. There's a variety of trays in the market. This is like a candy tray. That holds all the candies. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes to hold different kinds of candies. These actually fit on the carousel. So you can do hundreds of little candies in a matter of a couple minutes. This is one for cake pops that fits on the carousel. 2 cake pops fit on this, and then the sticks kind of hang off in these little notches. So that's one made by the Sassy Tray. And there's, like I said, a few dozen different kinds of trays on the market that you can purchase. They're all between like $20 and $100.
And Jennifer, what would you say is the difference in kind of labor and training of the carousel versus the manual when you're using the Eddy?
So the print speed is the same. So the print speed on average, depending on your print quality, you can change your print quality. If you want to go up to 4800 DPI or 2400 DPI, it'll print a little slower, but it's going to print the same speed. The only difference is that the carousel will do 12 at a time for you, and then you'll have to reload. So it's the same print speed, but it gives you a little bit more time in between if you do the carousel. And so what we find is people, depends on what your process is. If you want to load 12 and print 12 and then unload the 12 and then load 12 up again, some people just stand there and they just keep loading cookie, and then they take off as they go. So you'll have to kind of find your process for that. I would say for logo cookies, if it's on a circle, you're definitely going to want to use a carousel. And I would think that is probably the primary. Most people are printing round cookies with logos. Something like this. That's actually a bakery logo, but normally it would be like a business logo. There's one gal, she does these little square, like rectangle cookies. She does like the tax guy in town. She does a little calculator. It's hilarious. She's this cute little printed calculator on these cookies in the shape of a rectangle, and they print really quickly. So that's something fun. So you don't have to do circles. You can do any shape really. Let's see here. And as I said, it'll work on both a Mac or a PC, comes with the software. That's included with the $29.95. The hot swap warranty is another $800 if you want to have an extra year of warranty. So it gives you 2 years of warranty, and then we swap it out if there's any problems. We'll ship you a new one overnight. Talked about the speed, the ink, the colors. Let's see here. I was just thinking for a bakery, if you're already producing cookies, and the bakeries that are currently using Eddie now, they're taking orders. So what they've done is they put a little marketing piece on their counter that says, now accepting orders for personalized cookies for weddings, birthdays, graduations. Graduation is a huge one where they're printing logo cookie or photos of the kid or the logo from the school. And then also what they do is on holidays, they'll just put in the case custom cookies for the holiday, you know, Santa Claus cookies, or Halloween is a big one, you know, Halloween cookies with pumpkins or things like that. So you can use it, you know, for holidays or for special orders, custom orders, things like that. And then if you like, I can show you here a demo of how it works. I'm going to switch here to my software and share my screen. Actually, I'm going to before I do that, I'm going to do this here. Show you the printer. Okay, can you see the printer there?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, so we have a tray here of just a variety of cookies. It's kind of covering the printer, but so you can see, maybe Marina, you want to just point to some cookies, like there's just that shows the new magenta cartridge, the bright red on that one. That's a royalized cookie with some actual royal transfers on this that have been attached to it. That gives it a little bit of height and relief. The marshmallows, more kits. This is a fun one for weddings. You want to show that one? Just a simple black crest with a monogram. You can do that on a circle cookie or square cookie. And then that's a little bit more elaborate, printing the bandana and then coming back later and typing over it. Candies and then macarons. Good little macarons there. And maybe you want to pull up the tray here. Then we can show the printer. So thank you. So there's the printer in the carousel. Holds 12 cookies. And it's about, 12, the printer itself is pretty small. It's a little bit wider than a mixer, but it only weighs about 15 pounds. It's pretty light, pretty easy to move around. I can share my screen and show you the software here if people might be interested in that, and then I'll print a cookie for you. So here we go. Can you see my software here? You see that?
I'm not sure if it's the software or not.
Well, there's a picture of a girl upside down. You see that?
The one. Yep.
Okay, great. So this is the bartender software. This is a template software. It's not a design program. It's just meant to be. So here's a Christmas design, and you can resize the design. You can make it bigger, and then you can center it, that kind of thing. That's really what the software is for. Here's the wedding design. Then we have here's the donut that we printed earlier. This is the graduation cookie. So this software is, as I said, it's meant to be a way to kind of size your image. This is a 3.5-inch circle here that we've preset. We'll show you how to do that if you buy a printer. It's pretty easy. It's just like setting up a page size. It's pretty easy to do. But then this graphic I just got from Canva, just pulled it in. You could add words to this. You could say, happy graduation, Maria, or whatever. That's very easy to do in Canva. And then here, I'll switch back and I will stop sharing and I'll print here. So I'm going to print this. And then you can just look at the printer. I'm going to show it printing here quickly. First, it picks up the cookie. Does a scan to make sure it's centered. I moved the image. That was my fault. That's why there's a white line on the right. Otherwise, it would have been centered.
And Jennifer, if one cookie happens to be a little higher than the other, it adjusts for that?
It does. Yep. It centers each cookie as it comes in. Absolutely. Let's try another one here. Print to this little Christmas guy.
And this may seem like an obvious question, but it's wireless, right? So it doesn't have to be physically connected to a computer?
It does need to be physically connected.
Okay.
Is there an Ethernet cable on this? There is. Maybe go ask Patrick for me. I think you can do it wirelessly. You go ask them for me. Thank you. So just like that, you have your little holiday cookie. Let's see.
Cute.
And it's pretty well dry too. Well, it's not.
We lost your sound a little bit, Jennifer.
Oh, sorry, I got away from the printer. So the dry time just really depends on how much saturation. So you can set your saturation. Some people like more of a matte muted look, and some people like a really crisp, bright color. So you can set your saturation, all the way up to 100%. Most people print at like 65 to 75%. And then it like the holiday, Happy Holidays was pretty well dry, but the green on the present was a little damp. So you're going to want to let that set, give it a little bit of time to dry. And then I could print this wedding one here. And what I would normally do is I would tell it to print, 100. So you're not doing one at a time. Normally this whole carousel would be printed with the same design because you're fulfilling an order of 100 cookies or 50 cookies or 2 dozen cookies. Just like that. And then if you can see on the carousel, we have those little plastic triangles, and these come off to accommodate a larger cookie or to accommodate you can also put a square cookie. This is a rectangle, but a square cookie like that. And then a small would be about the smallest cookie you could do. I think it's about 2 inches. And then if you're doing macarons, you will use what's called these little adapters. They fit on here like that. And then the macarons set right in the middle of that. Right. This. And then it just picks up the whole thing together and brings that into the printer one at a time. That's how that works.
Could you describe a little bit about just the labor in between each carousel, like once it fills one, what that process is?
So as you let the cookies go, you can set it to do 100. So they'll just keep filling into the printer. And then what I would do is I would stand at the side and I would just keep loading. See the blanks over there on the right? As you're printing, you just would keep loading new cookies, or you could tell to print a dozen, load it all up with 12 blank cookies, print your dozen, and then take them off and then print another dozen. Just depends on, what's easier for you. There's a couple options there. Here comes Marina. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, so you can actually run it wirelessly with something like this or like this. It's a Wi-Fi adapter. You just have to buy that, and you can. So we have some people who've done like photo booth cookies at events, and they'll load their image up in Dropbox and print it from Dropbox. So that is possible, yes. Any questions from the crowd?
No questions from the crowd right now, no, but it's really great to see it operating, in time right here with the carousel. And it's good to know that you can create the cookies kind of ongoing, right? By loading up the
Right.
carousel or just a dozen at a time, depending
Yes.
on your operation.
Yep. And then for storage purposes, you can just take that carousel up and set it on the top, and then throw a cover over it. It's pretty easy to move if you don't have a dedicated space. A lot of people put them on rolling carts. That's another option, like a stainless rolling cart. We have a bakery in town here called Amy's Cupcakes in Hopkins, Minnesota. And she has one in her back bakery and prints all sorts of really great. She does some amazing Valentine prints and super fun. Endless creative possibilities. I just wanted to show you one thing here. I think if I have it open on Instagram, just want to show you our page here.
And you said that it was all machine washable, correct?
Yeah, there is. There's a few maintenance things that we recommend. There's a trough, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Let me first share my screen here. And where am I here? Getting used to this here. And then I'll show you that maintenance side of things. Do you see our Instagram page there? So this is our Instagram page, and it's great for inspiration. If you want to just scroll through here, you can see all the different things, like a bakery made a bunch of this like striped cookies that they kept in their case. Just you can get really elaborate and print patterns and backgrounds. We printed on pancakes, which was kind of fun. So cute. You could print little watermelon backgrounds. There's the hamburger bun that I printed. So I recommend, oh yeah, let me show you the cake one here. So this is a cake, and this is a cookie that they actually added a cookie to the cake that has a gold highlight on it, which is really fun. I'm going to show you the graduation. These are great, just super fun graduation cookies. Simple, just the graphic with the white background, super easy to print. Really fun for graduation. So that's a great place to go if you want inspiration. Here's a cake. Here's the cake with that little girl on it with a little cat, which is kind of fun. And then I'll show you here on the printer. Can you see the printer again now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the maintenance, so there's no issue with drying of the ink cartridge, because every time you change the cartridge, you get a new print head. So it's completely clean. The recommended use is to keep the printer plugged in, because it performs a maintenance spit kind of periodically. It'll keep that print head primed and ready to go. And then there is, when you lift up the top here, I can't do it now because I have the carousel installed, but the front lid opens all the way up, and there's a trough where some of the extra ink that sprays, there's a fan that sucks that ink in, and then you just have to rinse that out. And then there's a few sensors. There's a sensor here that has to be cleaned off. And that's pretty much it. It's there. Oh, there's also a filter at the back of the printer that you just take out and rinse out. That's pretty easy to fix or to clean.
Great. We do have a question here about
Sure.
support for the Eddy, and what happens if something happens, if it breaks down for some unknown reason, what sort of support that you offer.
Yes. So let me try to get myself back to my laptop here. There we go. Working. Doesn't want to come back to my laptop. Hold on 1 second here. I don't know why it's not coming back to me, but
It's See the printer.
So
There you are.
There we go. So support is amazing. So we have live support 6 days a week into the evening. It's like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then it goes till 8 p.m. on Saturday. So they will actually remote into your computer. They will help you. Most of the things are field replaceable, or it's something that they can do to help you clean your sensor. If there's any issues, a lot of that can be done over the phone. If it does need to come back, we can issue what's called a RMA, or a return merchandise. If it's within warranty and there's some problem with it, no problem, we do that. It's included with your 1-year warranty. If there's maintenance that needs to happen, you can send that in. I think we have a standard maintenance. It's $400 for any kind of basic maintenance on the printer. Again, you can also purchase a hot swap, which is $800, and that gives you an extended year. So that gives you a full 2 years of warranty, and then we'll swap it out. We have very little, I encourage people to read the reviews. We have very little people have issues with their printer. And we're here to support you. If there's any problem, we're there to, to help you, whatever you need. Just read the reviews on Trustpilot. You'll see that bakeries have said that it's changed their business. They're able to make extra money. They're able to fulfill orders for personalized orders where they, people want a photograph or they want something special for an anniversary. They've been getting requests for things like that. So, and then just the flexibility, how easy it is to use, and that it can do so many different things. They could put stuff in their case. They can take special orders. They can sell them at a premium to make more money. That's kind of the, obviously that's the biggest thing. So everybody loves their Eddy. I have one myself and I love it.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. If you want to stop your screen share.
Sure.
Perfect.
No.
And what is the best way, if people have more questions after this webinar and they want to reach out, what is the best way to get in contact with you or to find out more information?
Yep. Our website is www.primera, primera.com/Eddy. And that'll get you to our main landing page where you can watch a lot of the videos here that I've shown you. You can see the pricing, you can read some of the reviews. And then I encourage you to check out our Eddy, the Edible Ink Printer Facebook user group. Follow us on Instagram just to kind of keep up to speed with what we're doing. We do a lot of the big bakery trade shows like IBIE. We're doing IBA or EBA. Is that how you pronounced it?
Mm-hmm.
EBA in Munich in October. So you can always come see us at a trade show. And then also know that we have the 30-day money back guarantee. So we have a lot of pastry chefs using the printer, a lot of bakeries. So a lot of people out there actually using it. So there's a lot of information and use cases out there with people having success with it.
Thank you, Jennifer. This was such an informative webinar, and I hope people, reach out and take advantage of the technology that is available out there to save on labor, to, create customized products in an efficient way. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. We're really excited and happy to answer any questions. Just give us a call. We have live chat too on our website. If you ever have any questions, that's probably the fastest way to reach us. Just hop on a live chat on our website and we'll answer any questions you have.
Yep. And thank you for all of our attendees for being here. Be sure to check out the RBA website, retailbakersofamerica.org, and check out our events tab for more virtual events.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Marissa. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.